Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 27th of July up until the 2nd of August. First looking at anything that's dropped without being in one of these videos for whatever reason, and then looking at that week at hand. So which games are coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. Let's start with a game from the sponsor of today's video and their new release on the Switch, Fit My Dog. This is a puzzle game where you'll need to fit a variety of different shaped dogs into a grid, with the story being that a number of different dogs want a nice lazy day laying on the dog bed and you need to make sure you can squeeze them all on. Every level unveils a variety of dog breeds, with 27 in total, ranging from poodles to bulldogs, golden retrievers to dachshunds, and there are 96 levels for you to try to complete. We did do a video on a very similar release being Fit My Zoo, with the premise being the same, albeit obviously the animals featured changing, and it's definitely one of those one more go types of games where you'll complete a level and just try that next one to see how you get on. Fit My Dog costs £6.29 or your regional equivalent, although there is currently a sale up until the 15th of August in the American regions and the 25th of August in the EU, which takes it down to £4.50 with other regional prices being shown below. There'll be links in the description if you are interested in picking this one up, and again thank you to the publishing team for sponsoring this video. Let's start with a game that's already out then, and this is SNK vs Capcom SVC Chaos. This crossover fighting game first released in arcades in 2003 and includes 36 characters from across SNK series such as the King of Fighters and Capcom, most notably Street Fighter, in frantic fights to the finish. This new console release has included rollback netcode for seamless online play and also includes a hitbox viewer which allows you to take a detailed look at each character's collision areas. I've only played one of the SNK vs Capcom games, that was on a collection of Neo Geo Pocket Color games, and I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that whichever company's name is first in the title was the company that developed that particular game, in this case being SNK Playmore. As I said, it's out now and it sells for £17.99. Moving on to the games coming out this week then, and the first of those is The Garden Path. This calls itself a slice of life gardening sim that celebrates small moments. It says no matter how you decide to play, the garden is a tender world of familiar sights and sounds, mysteries and familiar faces, and it's designed with short play sessions in mind. Short 10 to 30 minute sessions of daily errands, and you'll be gardening, fishing, decorating and doing quests, as well as meeting a cast of characters. It does also mention there is local co-op where you can both nurture the garden together, and you'll see all 4 seasons within 28 real world days. Sounds like a nice change of pace from some of the games we get these days, and it is going to release on the 30th of July for £16.75. The next game is Trinity Fusion. This calls itself a roguelike journey through a multiverse where you'll fight through a combination of procedurally generated levels as well as handcrafted challenges and arenas that will put your skills to the test. It says you'll be sliding, dashing, dodging between enemies and then striking back with an arsenal of satisfying weapons, and it says you have 3 characters, your parallel selves that have their own world with unique biomes to explore as well as their own unique abilities and weapons. You can unlock permanent upgrades in the hub and discover new starting points for your run as you reclaim major locations in each universe. Does sound quite interesting, and I like the fact that they do make the distinction that each of the arenas is handcrafted, it's just they're pieced together in a procedurally generated way. It's out on the 31st and it will cost £17.99 or your regional equivalent. Also this week we have TENSEI, which is quite a cheap little game, we'll look at the price in a moment, but it calls itself a casual endless action game. It says TENSEI offers you a moment to leave your busy daily life behind and become mindless in a journey of repeated leaps and descents where you ascend slowly into the sky like a brush tracing on paper. It's a very nice simile, doesn't quite tell me what the game's about though. It says you'll be purifying damaged zones and using a 3-step jump to collect orbs while jumping from one scaffold to another. I did have a quick look at the trailer and it does look like a game where obviously you're just traversing through a number of different areas, but at just £2.49 it may well be worth a pickup. if it is as tranquil and relaxing as it says. This one releases on the 1st of August. We then have Mars 2120, which is a Metroidvania with engaging melee according to the blurb. You'll need to use special abilities tied to elements such as ice, fire and electricity to help Sergeant Anna 13 Charlotte navigate the colony and battle her way through the secrets of Mars. It says in the 22nd century, the first human colony on Mars sends a distress signal to the UN and you are recruited to find out what has happened. You'll need to survive by investigating diverse locations, unlock elemental skills as I mentioned, and combine them with powerful melee attacks against formidable bosses. All being well, this should be a game that we will review at some point soon. It's out on the 1st of August and sells for £17.99. The next game is Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which joins a whole host of Star Wars games on the Switch. It says you'll need to bring in your bounty, dead or alive, in this third-person action adventure where you'll play as Jango Fett. It says you'll experience the legendary bounty hunter fantasy set before the events of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. You'll face off against foes and manoeuvre through acrobatic battles and fight your way through the galaxy's underbelly equipped with dual blasters, your flamethrower, whipcord and pure Mandalorian rage. This first released in 2002 and was on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube. It doesn't really say a lot about what they're going to improve for this version, other than saying it's been optimised for today's consoles and hardware. Again, one we should be reviewing, and it's out on the 1st for £17.99, but you can get 10% off of that price up until just before launch on the 31st of July. Then we have Thank Goodness You Are Here, which is from the publishing team behind Untitled Goose Game, and calls itself a comedy slapformer which unfolds over time as the player's exploration and antics leave their mark on this strange town. You play as a travelling salesman and it's set in a town in the north of England, and it says that you'll become more involved with the locals, being given more puzzling odd jobs to complete as you go along, cutting the grass, baking a pie or even traversing the astral plane. It uses handcrafted animation and has an original story based on traditional Yorkshire folklore, so it says, and will include authentic regional dialects. It releases on the 1st of August. It does sell for £15.99 or your regional equivalent, but it's another game that you can save a bit of money on, 15% up until the 11th of August.
Now he's learning how to fly.
I've got you a meeting with the Lord Mayor today. They need what we're selling. Get paid.
The penultimate game for the week is Landnama, which says it provides the thrill of a dungeon crawler with the vibe of a city builder. It's a survival strategy game that forces you to carefully decide your next step, exploring the land and discovering hidden challenges and powerful landmarks. You need to build your settlement and brace for the punishing winter's toll, and it says that only one resource exists in the game, and this is heart, but it must be invested wisely. It can be gained in many ways, such as exploring the land and hunting, or by building your settlement into a thriving production hub. And it also goes on to say there is no combat or raiding in the game, with your biggest enemy coming in the form of a harsh winter. I do like the sound of this one, it does sound intriguing, that's for sure. It's out on the 1st of August and it will sell for £12.59. And the final game for the week then is Aero the Acrobat. This first released on the Super Nintendo, I seem to remember, and it also had a Game Boy Advance port and is a decent platformer from back in the day. I think it released around about 93, and I do like seeing these old Super Nintendo games getting releases through smaller development teams or publishers. This one comes via Ratalaika Games, and there are 4 areas, each with 5 stages, and you'll use Aero's acrobatic skills to fulfill the objectives in each stage and open the gate to the next. It says you can choose between the English and the Japanese version, and there's also rewind and save state features included, as well as a number of screen filters. It does also say there's a cheat function where you can type in cheats, a lovely blast from the past that is. And yeah, like I said, this is a decent game, I've played it back in the day, and for £5.99 you could do a lot worse. This one releases on the 2nd of August. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of those games interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you are looking for eShop credit to do just that and pick any of these games up, you can use our website switchup.gg to get your eShop cards, and doing so will get you 5% off your purchase price back as cashback to use against a future purchase. There are also links down there to PlayAsia and a number of other stores. There are Joy-Con on sale, for example, and any of that you use does help the channel out, plus there are some discount codes down there to save yourselves a bit of money. A quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.